Okay, Mataji, we started live streaming.
Om Ajnanatimidandasya Ajnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavaji Paschatya Rishatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. So welcome dear children to the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which is known as Attaining the Supreme. It is also known as Akshara Brahma Yoga, but we call it in Bhagavad Gita as it is as Attaining the Supreme. Next slide. See, Arjuna is asking Krishna, how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? See, this chapter actually, it is for very old people. I mean, they've lived their life. They've gone through their childhood, youth, middle age, old, retired. Then again, even some more, they have become even more old. So for them, it is very useful. But still, anyway, you also know it, how it is. Huh? So he's asking, how can those engaged in devotional service know you? You means what? Krishna. How can what people know you? No, I mean, how can anybody know Krishna at the time of death? See, he's explaining now. See, you already know. See, there are 3 types of devotional service shown here. Actually, there are 9 types, but 3 is very important for you all because you are all still beginners, no? We are all, you are all just starting to learn Bhagavad Gita and you have entered the spiritual life. So, among the 9, these 3 are very important. Hearing the Lord, chanting, and remembering. That is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Remembering means Smaranam. See, they are all remembering, praying Him. And first is hearing the Lord. See, one person is sitting, they are all sitting and hearing. And this chanting means 2 types. One is chanting with the beads by ourselves, and another chanting is Sankirtana, where you go in the temple, you hold your hands like this and say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This is for japa. Actually, with different tunes, the Sankirtana is done. Next. See, I'll tell you a story. See, what does this thing means? This means sloka means we'll read out the sloka, then you'll read out the meaning, and exactly I'll tell you. There's a story in Bhagavatam. It is about Bharat Maharaj. I'll tell you first. We'll read this sloka, then we'll read the meaning, then I'll go to the story. It's a very interesting story. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam त्यजति ante kalevaram tam evaiti kaunteya sadbhava bhava bhavitaha sada tad bhava bhavitaha. See, this is the meaning of this. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. Anybody wants to read this meaning? Unmute someone, Vidya. Just one person.
Yes, Mataji, I have unmuted Bhavya.
Okay.
Bhavya?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail.
Yeah. Okay, you remember this sloka also. It is given for the homework, today's homework. Does anybody want to read this sloka and then the meaning?
Samriddhi Tiwari.
Meaning and sloka? I mean sloka and meaning.
Ma'am, Mataji,
Yeah.
do I read the sloka or meaning?
Yeah, sure.
Yam yam vapi samaram bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam tam eva evaiti konteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha.
Okay.
Whatever state of being one, remember when he quits his body, thus that state he will attain without fail.
Yeah. Anybody else want to read this?
Swasti Chavan.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, should I read the shloka or the meaning?
Yeah, you can read both. If you know the sloka, you read. Otherwise, meaning. Other anything.
Yam yam vapi smaranam bhavam tyajatya ante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadatad bhava bhavati aha.
Bhava
Whatever,
Yeah.
whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail.
Yes. Just one more person who wants to read. Archit Sharma or Pranita or Sachin.
Hare Krishna Mataji, content audible to you.
Yeah, read.
Yam yam vapi samaran bhavam taya jute anante kile varam tam tam eva iti konteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail.
Okay. Yeah. Then next, Sachin.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajatya ante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail.
So I'll send my recorded voice. Please learn this sloka properly, and tomorrow you have to. All of you have to recite this. If you don't know anything, you just let me know. You can send me or message me also, and you can also record and send it to me. Okay. So this is a homework. This is a very important sloka in this chapter. So I'll tell you a story. I think one slide is missing. No. That's the previous one. No? Yes. Yeah, sure. So next one. See,
Hare Krishna Mataji. Riya Mataji. Selina Mataji, you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Mataji. I am here.
Pujya Mataji, the connection got lost.
Mataji. Vidya Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Pujya Mataji, connection got
I
lost.
think she
She
disconnected.
left, right?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. So we can make others to chant this, the previous sloka. So, yes, please.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, who wants to chant this?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Who want to chant?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishnika.
Yes, yes, you can read this.
Ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am. 1 minute. Yeah. Ma'am, translation or a sloka? Ma'am, translation or sloka? Sloka. Hello.
You read that sloka. You read that sloka. You read that sloka.
Okay, ma'am.
8.6.
Okay, ma'am, I am reading. Yam yam vapi saram bhavan teres tanje ante kevaram tam tam evati kunte sada tad bhava bhavita. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quiets his body, that state he will attain without fail. Ma'am?
Actually, that is yam yam vyapi smaranam bhavam yajyante ante kalevaram tam tam yavati kanteya sada tad bhava bhavitah. You should read and pronounce the look. You here. You should when you chant, when you chant a sloka or anything, you read. You tell that words properly. Okay.
Ma'am, I want to say something. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you have changed the setting in a group that you have not changed the setting in the group that that the student can also the change write or say anything in the group.
Chat
if we
enable.
have any problem.
Yes, yes, we have enabled the chat because many students are unnecessarily messaging like please unmute me, please unmute me. So you are not listening to the class, you are simply asking for unmuting. So we disable the chat. Okay.
Ma'am, you will not on the settings that only the students can answer. Ma'am? Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
So some problem with this thing.
Yeah.
Some current. Yeah. Now I think it's okay. I hope there won't be any more trouble. There was actually no power. So it's set right now. So where was I? Yeah, I was telling you about the story of Bharat Maharaj. Protection. See, see, there was a king called Bharata. Long ago. He was, don't mistake, I mean, don't confuse with Bharata, who is a younger son of Lord Rama. He's not that Bharata, he is a different Bharata. See, but he was a very good king. See, once what happens, as he was growing old, he felt that he should retire, go away, leave the kingdom to his sons, make his son as a king, then go away, retire, and completely devote to the devotional life, giving up all the material attachments. So he goes away to a forest, makes a hut, sit there, and he starts his devotional life by doing this fire sacrifice. Early morning is to get up, do the meditation. Afternoon, fire sacrifice. Then in between, holy chanting the mantras. So many things he used to do. And whatever was available there, fruits, roots, or whatever there, he used to cook for himself, offer it to the Lord, and then he used to eat. Like that, he used to pass the time one day. Pass the time. Then what happens? Suddenly, while he was doing something, some work, fire sacrifice or chanting, he hears a big noise like a lion roaring. So he is not scared actually, because the one who is taking devotional life is never feels scared. They always know they are the protection of the Lord. So he doesn't feel scared. He gets up and goes near the river where the sound is coming. There he sees a very small, cute deer lying. His mother has given birth to him, and the mother has died already. So he picks up the deer, brings it to his home, and she pats it, gives him food, gives him shelter, and a comfortable place to sleep, and all that. So by this, what happens? He starts getting attached to the deer. So much of attachment that he instead of doing progressing in spiritual life, he starts thinking about deer only. The deer becomes his pet. So he doesn't even think why I'm doing like this or not. That also he doesn't think. See, that's the act of Maya. See, whenever some Maya, I know, tries to attack everybody, but you should never listen to the Maya. So what happens? He doesn't listen. He does devotional service. Of course, he doesn't. He has not left devotional service, but at the same time, he starts looking after deer. Half of his work is only for the deer, looking after the deer, feeding him, patting him, making him sleep. So slowly, the deer grows up into a very big deer. Then this Maharaj, this king, he's become even more and more and older and older. He actually a very little of devotional bhakti for him, devotional service, and is getting attached to this deer only. So once happens, this deer, after he has become big, he runs away from him. That animals, some animals are like that, except some dogs. We have seen so many animals, they don't get attached to anybody. Animals see is a bunch of deer just like him going, so he runs and goes away with them, leaving behind this Bharat, King Bharat. So what happens? This Bharat Maharaj, he doesn't know, maybe he's still doing something inside or taking bath. He never notices where he goes. So he starts finding here, there, so many places. Oh my, where is my deer gone? Oh, where is my deer gone? By starting searching for him, what happens? He's very tired, and the time comes for him to die. Next slide. The time comes for him to die. When at the time of dying, he has done lot of devotional service, of course. But whatever one remembers at the time of death, one can attain that same form. So he becomes a deer in its next life. See what happens. So that's why becoming attached to too many things means one remembers at the time of death. At the time of death, you should think, or all of us should think only about Krishna. Then only you can attain him. So he thinks of deer, he becomes a deer. That is what Krishna is saying in the previous verses. Just show the distinct verse, that previous verse which I gave him for homework. Yeah, this is the meaning of the story. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam त्यजति ante kale varam tam eveti konteya sada sad bhava bhavitah. See, whatever state of one being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. So this is the meaning of that story which I have told you now. Yeah, let's go back further. Yeah, that one only. So therefore, yeah, next. See, he remembering deer, so he becomes a deer. And next, what happens? There is still a elaborate story on this in Bhagavatam. Later on, after some years of deer life, he again dies. The deer dies, and again he becomes a person known as Bharata. Jada Bharata he is called as. So therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without fail. Anybody wants to read this sloka?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, read it out.
Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting with your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt.
See, that doesn't see. Krishna is saying that leave off everything and think only of me and sit in one place. He is not saying that. Carry out your prescribed duty. What is your prescribed duty? All of you here, you are a student. You are studying, so that is your duty. Your mother, she is cooking. That is her duty. And your father is going out for work. That is his duty. So all of us have some duty or the other. That doesn't mean all of us should sit in one corner or one side and think only about Krishna. You should not do like that. You should do your work also. Carry out your duty and always your mind and intelligence should be fixed on me. On me, he is saying. He's saying. So when you always think of me and if you fix up your mind on me, you will attain me. He's saying without a doubt. Samshayaha means attain me without doubt. Next. See, then see, I'll just show that picture. Previous one. See, this is Prahlad Maharaj in Bhagavatam. His story is very well written. All of you must be knowing this story. Prahlad Maharaj is a son of the demon king Hiranyakashipu. See, that the king, he sends him to the this thing Gurukul, that is boarding school, where instead of learning things, he is learning things. It's not that he's not learning, but he's teaching so many about Sankirtana, devotional service to all his friends. He's teaching, even at the age of very small age, at the age of 5 or maybe 8, something like that, in his childhood only. Next. See, that's why bhakti or devotional service should be started when you are very young, in your childhood. See, you are all at the right age to start bhakti. So our this thing Guru Srila Prabhupada, see, our Guru Srila Prabhupada, when he was small, he used to started his bhakti devotional life in small itself. He used to start. He had started already. Begin your devotional service in childhood itself. Yeah. Next. So, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Anybody wants to chant? Who was not chanted? Please chant this. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, I wanted to.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Anyone.
Yes, Mataji, I wanted to chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yes. Anybody else? That's okay. If everybody has chanted, I think we'll go to the next slide.
Mataji, I want to chant.
Yeah, chant.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yeah. So we'll go to the next slide. See what happens by remembering, constantly remembering, especially in old age. In young age, do your duties and remember Krishna. In old age, one should always remember Krishna, doing devotional service. If you are used to devotional service during your childhood only, you can never live in your old age. So what happens? He who meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, oh Pritha, that is Arjuna, is sure to reach me. So remembering him should be done in young age only. Anybody wants to read this?
Yes, Athar Singh Gautam.
Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Yeah.
He who meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path. He, O Partha, Arjuna, is sure to reach me.
Yeah. Correct. See, the right side shows the picture. See, after so many distinct, doing so many devotional service. At the end of life, the Vishnu Dutas come and take him to the abode of Krishna. So he is going back to Krishna because he has done so much of remembering him. He has done so many things since his childhood. And in old age, he cannot forget Krishna. So he goes back to Godhead. There he is coming. They are all welcoming him, making him sit in the plane, and they are taking him to Godhead. Yes. Next. Anybody wants to read? One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as one who knows everything. He is a maintainer of everything. Anybody wants to read?
Miss, can I?
Yeah.
One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything. He is a maintainer of everything.
Everything, yes. Next. So Lord Krishna, he is a maintainer. So you see now in this picture, photo, beautiful form of Krishna in form of Lord's Shama Sundara form. This is Shama Sundara form. So who is God? Can anybody tell me? Till now, nobody has answered. Who is God? Okay.
Mataji, Krishna is God.
Yeah. Is he a person?
Mataji, can I?
Yeah. Is he a person? Next question. Is he a person?
Can I? Mataji?
Yes. Yes, yes. Is he a person?
Krishna is God. He is a person. He
What is his
has
form?
Sham Sundar form. We should meditate on that form.
See, this is a reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahma Samhita, and one more book called Mukundamala. Mukundamala. Next. See, these are all the devotional services doing, Devatas are doing. See, their Devatas are no less. They are very powerful, and they are all great devotees of the Lord. See, for example, in this thing, see, this is Brahma. In his abode, he is meditating on Lord Narayana. See, and Lakshmi is sitting here. And in another picture, you see Lord Shiva. He is sitting with his wife Parvati. And so many of that other devotees are sitting here, and they are praying Lord Narayana only, Krishna. They're all, even Devatas are the devotees of Lord Krishna or Narayana, both. Next. See, this is Vaikunta. See, there are people who can fly. For example, Narada Muni. He can go anywhere. He's called as actually spaceman. Wherever he wants, he can go whichever planet at any time. So the Lord gave him a boon. See, people are flying and come from. There are airplanes. They are coming, and see Lord Narayana. See, he is standing with Lakshmi. See, all Shiva and so many people are standing them. They are next. Next, Vidya. What happened? Yeah, or yeah, anybody?
Hare Krishna Mataji, can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. So this is the next slide of Krishna in Vrindavana forest. Vrindavana used to be so beautiful in those days. Now, of course, it has changed, but in those days, such big, beautiful forest, peacocks, there are swans, birds, even monkeys, animals, so many things are there. So he is talking to everyone. They are so, happy to see him. Next, second picture in the middle one is Krishna with cow. Krishna always loves cows. Huh? So he is known as what? Do you know what is the name of the Krishna in this form? Can anybody tell me? He is known as Gopala. Otherwise, he is the one who gives pleasure to the cows. It's also known as Govinda. So Krishna is known by Shama Sundara, Rishikesha, Parthasarthi, then and then so many other names. Huh? And this thing, what is that? Damodara. And then, so here he is like Gopala, Govinda, they all call him. So this is a pastime of Krishna. He's getting scolded by his mother because he's trying to steal butter. Next. So we'll go to next another story.
Krishna's God.
Yeah. Is he a Yes, next. See, I'll just tell you briefly a story of Sudama. Sudama, who is, you'll see the video, very good friend, childhood friend of Krishna. See, they are all have a guru called Sandipani Muni. Huh? So they all stay together in the Gurukul, and they are learning so many things from their guru. This is also Krishna and Balarama. Next. This Hare Krishna. Yeah. So the next is see, there's a big storm. Please go and wood for us. We fight tomorrow morning. So when they go, there's a big storm. Sudama gets scared, but still then he said, but Krishna is saying, don't worry, nothing will happen. He's saying, I'm here. So they all after that, see, they're all eating together. So this is a short story of Sudama in his in his childhood with Krishna. Next. Next slide, please.
Krishna, Mataji, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Anything wrong?
I changed the slide, but I think you can't see the slide.
No, I can see now. I'm seeing now. See that my internet is showing very unstable. I don't know why. I'm the only one using here. That's okay. I'll carry on. I'll finish off quickly before something happens. What is that? See, after taking education from their teacher, they all part in their ways, different ways. Krishna and Sudama, they are hugging. See, we are parting. We are going to different places. They are saying. So they go back after blessings from their guru. Next. See, this is what. See, I'll tell you a story briefly. See, because my internet connection, I don't know what, something has gone wrong. See, what happened is after going to their ways, hello.
Hare Krishna Mataji, someone is unmuted. I am muting everyone.
Okay, yeah, please. I won't ask anybody.
Yes, Mataji, can continue.
Yeah. See, after going to they have their education and they go different ways. So Krishna becomes the king of Dwarka. Remember that. And then Sudama, he's still very poor. According to his karma, what to do? No, he's maybe in his previous life, according to his karma, he's very poor. He becomes a priest of a temple who is earning very little money, only dakshinas like that. So once what happens, his wife tells him, but he, of course, he marries. His wife is very good. They have children. They have a lot of children. Then once his wife says, "We are so poor, nothing to eat. At least think for the children. Think about the children. Please go and meet your friend, who, Lord Krishna, who is in Dwarka." He says, "No, no, no. I don't want to go and disturb my friend. He's a king. I don't want to ask him anything." He says, but he says, "At least don't ask him anything. Please go and have his darshan. And since he's your childhood friend, go and meet him. Just take his blessings," he says. So he goes to Dwarka. But before going, his wife, she says, "I'll give him something, a small gift. You should not go empty handed." So she gives him a small bundle of this thing, poha, parched rice. Then we go see all his this thing, clothes are all torn. When he goes near that this thing, what is that palace? The doorkeepers, they don't allow him inside, but still then the Krishna comes to know, and he comes outside and he takes him inside, gives him good food, washes his feet. Then they talk about their childhood times, because since after a very long time they are meeting. Then Krishna takes tells him what is this. "Please give me this, whatever you have brought for me." Then Sudama says, "No, no, I feel very shy. I don't want to give you this." "No, no." Forcibly he takes and he eats that this thing, poha, parched rice. So by eating that, so Krishna gives Sudama so much of richness, and everything is given, but he is not knowing. After staying for just for 1 or 2 nights, I think he goes back to his place. Then he feels very happy. He says, "It's such a good thing. I've not asked him anything in material things. I had his darshan. I'm coming back home." So he walks and he comes back to his home. When he comes back to his home, he finds, see, these are all the services which he has been done. Yeah. So next, yeah. See, after he goes back home, he sees that he has a very beautiful house, and his children, wife are all very well dressed, and they have very lot of good food to eat. So Krishna gives him. He doesn't ask anything, but still Krishna gives him and everything. So this one you'll see in this video clip. It's a beautiful video. So next slide. Wait, I'm just cutting it. See, a person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing austere sacrifices, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. At the end, he reaches the supreme abode. See, there are so many scriptures in this now. See, in this time now, you can't read everything. In this Kali Yuga, you have to do so many things, carry out so much of work, but still you should have spiritual life. So for that, a very simple method: chanting the holy name of the Lord. So by chanting, doing small devotional services also, one can reach the supreme abode. See, these are all so many Vedas. Huh? All these Vedas are there. So one has to be a very big Pandita to read all this. For a common person, chanting the holy name huh, is good enough. At the end, he reaches the supreme abode. Next, see, next is a Goloka chart. Vidya? This is actually, it's a very, complicated one for you to understand. It's given in Bhagavatam, and people are still studying the same. But someone yesterday asked me about Bhur Bhuva. Huh? So, see, this is a abode of Lord Krishna, Goloka. And next comes here Vaikuntha. These are all very heavenly, very big planets. So, see, then next, this is Garbhodasai Vishnu. Just show that Garbhodasai Vishnu. Just can you enlarge it? Below the Vaikuntha planets. Just scroll up, Vidya. Yeah, see. Can you enlarge this portion? Garbhodasa ocean, at least this portion. Yeah, this portion. Not this one. Yeah. A little, yeah. I think this should be enough. You can't do more than this. See, in Garbhodaka Vishnu, ocean, Vishnu is lying. He is also known as Garbhodaka Vishnu. On his feet is Lakshmi. See, from the navel, see, sprouts like this, and then a flower, lotus flower. On this, Brahma is sitting. See, where we are, we have to find out now. See, Bhur means earth. We are staying here now. In that seventh one. Above this, these are, they are all material planets, but very distinct, very for the demigods. See, Satyaloka is for Brahma, Tapoloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, Swarloka, Bhurloka, then Bhurloka. Bhurloka is our, where we are now. Then down comes all these, below there, below down is, there are so many other lokas. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Tala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. These are all the lower planets. These are all the upper planets. Somewhere we are staying here. See, there are so many planets where it's very difficult for you to understand unless we get a very big this thing. What is that? Goloka chart. You can, with the help of someone, you can always understand what it is. So this is known as complete Goloka chart. Next. See, this is a Vaikuntha planet. Self-illuminated, very beautiful. So many incarnation of Lord Krishna. They are all staying here. Vishnu is staying here. And here is this is lotus. Big lotus in the middle. It's the Goloka. Krishna and Radharani, they are here. Next. This thing. Slide. So the easiest way to attain Goloka or Vaikuntha is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So what shall we do now, Vidya? Shall we go for the polls? Then later on a video?